Hello everyone, here are the latest market news on February the 13th, 2020. China revises coronavirus cases counting. Chinese province Hubei, which is the center of the coronavirus outbreak, reported a jump of almost 15,000 new cases after it revised the method for counting infections. Fatalities in Hubei climbed by 242, of which 135 cases are from the new method of diagnosis, pushing the overall death toll to more than 1,300. The number of infections jumped by 14,840, sending the total number of cases in China toward 60,000. Meanwhile, two top Chinese officials at the center of the coronavirus outbreak were ousted. Jiang Chaoliang was removed from his post as Communist Party secretary for the central province of Hubei, and Ma Guoqiang was dismissed as party secretary of Wuhan. It comes amid deepening concerns about early efforts to suppress information about the severity of the health crisis. U.S. and Taliban close to a partial ceasefire. The U.S. and Taliban are close to agreeing to a partial week-long ceasefire in Afghanistan intended to be a precursor to broader peace talks and withdrawal of at least some U.S. troops. Negotiators from both sides have been discussing the deal in Qatar and have said that an agreement is close. The Associated Press quoted two Taliban officials as saying they would walk away from the negotiating table if the offer of a 7-day reduction of violence was not accepted. According to sources familiar with the discussions, the partial ceasefire would usher in a more formal agreement by which the U.S. would reduce its 12,000-strong military presence in Afghanistan, and the Taliban would agree to enter into comprehensive talks with Afghan officials on a political settlement. Pernod Ricard reduces its earnings forecast. Pernod Ricard SA, the maker of Jameson whiskey and beefeater gin, cut its full-year earnings outlook due to an expected severe impact from the coronavirus during the third quarter of its fiscal year. New virus is hurting demand for liquor brands in China, where Pernod Ricard is the largest seller of international spirits. In January, rival Remy Cointreau SA abandoned its 2020 forecast as the outbreak threatened business in the country. Pernod Ricard estimates the impact from the virus to be about 2% of full-year sales and 3% of earnings, including the effect of bar and store closures in the Hubei province. Global shares fall amid rise in coronavirus cases. Global stock markets declined on Thursday as a sharp rise in new coronavirus deaths and infections dented hopes that its spread was slowing. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan fell 0.2%, stopping 1% rally as most markets across the region posted modest declines. Japan's Nikkei decreased 0.1%, while Australia's ASX S&P 200 index retreated from a record high. The Shanghai Composite lost 0.5% and Hong Kong's Hang Seng slipped 0.3%. Meantime, E-mini S&P 500 futures were 0.4% lower by the afternoon, pointing to a fade in Wall Street's strong rally. In Europe, futures for the Euro Stoxx 50 tumbled 0.1%. Commodity market also showed lower results, with Brent crude futures fell 6 cents or 0.1% to $55.73 per barrel.